I mean, we're halfway through our season, and I'd like to take some inventory and stock and see what we think. And how, like I said in my email, maximizing every bit of the last little time we have with our kids. And we think it's January and we're going to end in March. And the way I feel about that is we don't have enough time to get everything done that we want to get done with our kids. When we think Skills Quest and what we want them to accomplish in Skills Quest, and to be for the kids to be confident and happy and feel prepared for a Steamboat Cup or for a USSA race they might enter, and then to find some proficiency in some of these basic skills that we want them to have by the time our kids leave U10 and, you know, introducing in U8 and all of that. What I would love to do for this clinic, but I'm not going to do it because of all the different motivations. What I'd love to do for the clinic is not talk at all and model how I'd love to see us handle it with the kids. But I can just be transparent and talk about that just for a little bit. I'd love it if we got to the top of the hill when we, you know, how are we doing with all of our kids? And we've got this run, we've got sits, and we go onto the flat, and then we've got Vogue. And instead of saying to the kids, I'll meet you down there at the light post and the sign at the end of the flat, give them a task. I mean, a task every single time. So right now, we're going to go find Matt, and I'm just going to give us a task. And let's practice our outside skiing. Our outside skiing. That's something that we want our kids to be proficient in. Balancing with our outside ski. Let's everybody pick up the heel of our inside foot. This is something we all ought to be doing with our kids. We don't have to say anything about it, except for let's just do it, and we're going to meet at the end of the flats down there. So let's do it. It's really a wasted opportunity if we're on a groomer and we just say, meet you at the bottom of the groomer, because we're dealing with 9-year-olds. And are they really going to get much out of that? I see them getting a lot out of it if we're going through the moguls or we're going through the trees or something a little challenging. But like I've always said, on a groomer, we could so easily get to the end of the season skiing groomers, and our kids have not changed one single bit. Because we know with Colorado grooming, people can ski the groomers really fast and just completely suck. And be terrible skiers. And not on our watch, you guys. I mean, skiing groomers is not going to ensure that we are really cultivating solid skiers unless we're giving them something very specific to do from this part of the groomer to down there. So V's on knees, and let's practice our railroad tracking. It'll look like this. Again, imagine we're working with our 9-year-olds. I'm just going to model. We're not talking a lot. Like, everybody make short radius turns. Everybody hold their poles straight up like this. Not here, not here, not here. But up here, short radius turns. When we're going from point A to point B, let's just think about it and use it. Use that terrain. So on the groomers, how much can you get them to change that range of motion?
Right, okay.
You know, they're being really, really tall like a giraffe, and then they're really small like a koala bear, or tiny or compact or something.
Yep.
And just get the big ranges of motion happening.
Okay.
Kind of every moment traveling from here to there, you know, I just do outside skiing, pick up that inside ski, pick up the inside heel. Then the next half of the run, do leapers, you know, that jumping into the turn. and then have them jump at the transition, then have them jump in the middle of the... What I'd encourage is every run, just do something different. The next run, we are going to do our gorilla turns. We're going to be way wide and way low. Way wide and way low. And then, you know, and then you're, I mean, just, but ask them to do a very specific task that is just playing with the body's range of motion. And, you know, that's when we're on the groomers. Now, you know, when you're in the bumps, have you yet gone into norther and just traversed across the moguls a whole bunch? Yeah, that's good. I'm a believer that if you mix it up a lot, if you take their poles away, if you give their hands something different to do every run, maybe every single turn they're planting, every single turn with their right hand, their right pole, every turn, right pole, plant, 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 plant. And then every pole, I mean, you're asking them to do things they're not used to, and that's going to broaden their movement base, right?
I think I'll have to try the one after another, because if I do one drill too many times in a row, they get really annoyed with me.
I wouldn't, yeah, 100%. Yeah, you know, and don't look for mastery.
Yeah.
You know, just half of, I mean, this pitch of the course or this pitch of the run, we're doing this, and then doing some, I mean, 3 or 4 different exercises.
I'm gonna have to try that.
Yeah. Think like an 8-year-old. Let's think like we're trying to mix it up and play games with the 8-year-old. How about with our left hand holding our brains, and our right hand, every single turn, we're planting. Every single turn, okay? That's really what I'm hoping, one of the main things that we're taking out of this today, is just so we really engage, and we just don't have enough time left. I do think that if we want the proper upper body posture and pole plants coming out of our wrist, if our kids don't have the limb control, the upper body control to be able to do this and to be able to do this, that's a lot of control. Keep one hand here and do that, right? Or to be able to do this, or to be able to ski down and do that. I mean, that's showing a lot of upper body control while the legs are doing a lot of steering. So I don't necessarily believe that we're going to teach this sort of posture by just saying keep your hands up. I don't think that's going to happen. I think through time, the better the kids get at doing all of these other limb control kind of things, I think we're eventually going to get there. We're tricking our kids into a lot of our learning, but I think that there's times throughout the day we really need to be deliberate and be transparent about what we're teaching our 8-year-olds or our 9-year-olds. It's a little bit of homework for the moment, and that's why they're there, so let's do it. And so teaching them how the upper body relates to the lower body and helping them see that the uphill foot is higher, just standing here. The uphill knee is higher, just standing here. The uphill hip is, and the shoulders are. And to help them understand, the more you work up the body, the more that orientation falls apart. And the kids can, my inside shoulder is now lower than my outside shoulder. That would be wrong. My inside shoulder is now behind my outside shoulder. That would be wrong. And to do some traversing with all of our kids and help them understand the uphill half of the body it's naturally higher and forward. That includes the uphill hand, the uphill shoulder, and that we're helping the kids understand anything like this or anything banking like this is not proper positioning. So give them a little lesson on that, just for a little bit. You can have them, I don't know, you can do it in so many different ways. just traversing. But let's just all do some traversing and think about that. As I watch this, you guys, when we're trying to be disciplined, I see hands kind of all over the place. I see this or kind of all over. How about if we all, palms up, position our poles so they're nice and they're matching our shoulders, they're matching our knees, and just being tight in the core and having the discipline to maintain this through our traverses. You know, I think every time we're going out, we ought to be doing some form of side slipping just for warming up, practice whatever with some edge sets. That's pretty basic. You know, let's think skills quests and work these things into your day. Again, we don't have enough time we can go out there and have an absolute blast, but be thoughtful the day before, be thoughtful while you're going up the lift. So it's seemingly all spontaneous and seemingly it's all fun until at this moment we're going to have a little lesson and we're going to do our traversing and we're going to get this stuff right. But I think we're at a point in our season to challenge ourselves. And if we're just at the top of the groomer and saying, okay, let's just meet you, let's ski down to Thunderhead or let's ski down to Storm, I think we've missed an opportunity to get them balanced with their outside ski, missed an opportunity to work on our pole plants, missed an opportunity to do some 360s, you know, something like that. And then I'll end with saying, all of these activities that we're doing, you can take them out into more difficult, challenging terrain, more difficult, challenging snow conditions, or more steeps or bumps. And I think my motto this year is that we're just not going to make great skiers on the groomers. So I hope that you're all just getting out and exploring, and that's where they want to be anyway. That's where it's a lot of fun. And we've got a lot of groomers here at Steamboat, and when we're going from point A to point B, and then we'll play these games and do. All right, well, the Seahawks won last night. Let's hope the Broncos win now. And then maybe we get a repeat. I'm from Seattle. I'm a Seattle girl.